Every woman who has ever captured a man's heart in a way he could never forget had one thing in common. It wasn't just her beauty, it wasn't just her charm, it was the way she made him feel about himself in her presence. Most women think men are drawn to them because of what they offer, but that is not how it works. Men don't fall in love with women because of what they do. They fall in love because of how they feel when they are around them. This is where most women get it wrong. They pour themselves into a relationship, giving everything, thinking that their effort is what keeps a man. But effort alone is not what creates obsession. A man will never stay simply because of what you give. He stays because of how you make him feel when he is with you. If a man feels powerful, respected, and deeply valued in your presence, he will fight for you with everything he has. If he feels small, unneeded, or like just another part of your life, he will start to pull away, sometimes without even knowing why. This is why men leave amazing women. They might love her, they might care for her deeply, but if she does not awaken something powerful within him, if she does not make him feel alive, he will always be searching for something more. Not because he wants to, but because something inside of him demands it. And if a woman doesn't give him that feeling, he will eventually find it elsewhere. A man wants to feel like a king in your presence. Not in a way that makes you small, not in a way that takes away your power, but in a way that makes him feel like he is stepping into his highest self. Men do not crave love the way women do. They crave respect. They crave admiration. They crave a feeling of significance that tells them they matter in a way no one else can replace. Think about the women who have men completely devoted to them. It is not just because they are beautiful. It is not because they are perfect. It is because they know how to make a man feel like he is at his absolute best when he is with her. When he looks into her eyes and sees belief, when he hears admiration in her voice, when he feels like she sees his greatness before he even sees it himself, that is when he locks in. That is when his attachment becomes unbreakable. But here's a mistake too many women make. They think they have to prove their worth to a man, that they have to do more, give more, love more to keep him interested. But men do not fall in love with effort. They fall in love with the experience, the energy, the feeling they get when they are around you. And if that feeling is powerful enough, nothing could ever pull them away. This is why certain women become unforgettable, because they do not chase, they do not beg, they do not over-explain. They simply create a presence that makes a man feel so deeply connected, so inspired, so appreciated that he cannot imagine a life without her. She does not give him everything, she gives him something much more powerful, a feeling he cannot get anywhere else. Most women spend so much time worrying about what they look like, what they should say, how they should act, but men do not remember the details. They remember how a woman makes them feel. They remember if they feel strong or weak, admired or criticized, needed or replaceable. And the woman who understands this has more power than she could ever imagine. A man can be surrounded by beautiful women, but if none of them make him feel significant, he will never be truly attached. He will enjoy the moment, but he will not stay. The woman he stays for, the woman he builds with, is the one who sees him in a way no one else does. The one who makes him feel like a man in a world that constantly tries to take that away from him. A man may not even realize why he is so drawn to her. He might try to explain it by saying, she is different, special, irreplaceable. But what he is really saying is that she gives him a feeling he cannot shake. She makes him feel alive. And once a man has felt that, no other woman can ever truly compare. This is why some men leave women who seem perfect on paper. It is why some men regret walking away from a woman years later when they realize no one else ever made them feel the same, because at the end of the day, men do not chase perfection. They chase the feeling of being the man they always wanted to be. When a man feels deeply respected, when he feels like he is winning in your presence, he will tie his identity to you. You will not have to force him to commit. You will not have to beg for his attention, because he will feel something so powerful that he will do anything to keep it. Women who understand this are never in competition with other women. They do not chase, they do not fight for a man's attention, because they know that a man who has felt that level of admiration will always find his way back to them. He may get distracted, he may wander, but he will never forget the woman who made him feel like a king. The truth is, men are far simpler than women think. They do not need constant gifts. They do not need you to sacrifice everything for them. They need to feel strong, capable, and deeply valued. And the moment you give a man that, he will move heaven and earth for you. So ask yourself, are you making him feel like just another person in your life, or are you making him feel like a king? Because the difference between being a man's option and being his obsession is not about looks or status or effort. It is about the feeling you give him every time he is around you. And when you master that, no man will ever want to lose you. There is something most women never realize about men. It is not the words you say, it is not the things you do, it is the energy you bring when you walk into a room. It is the presence you carry when you sit beside him. It is the way you make him feel about himself without saying a single word. And if you don't understand this, you will never understand why some women effortlessly capture a man's soul while others are easily forgotten. Men do not fall in love with the way a woman looks alone. That might grab his attention, but it does not make him stay. A man can admire beauty, he can be drawn to it, but unless that beauty feels a certain way when he is around it, he will never be truly captivated. The way you make a man feel in your presence is what determines whether he sees you as someone to chase or someone to replace. Most women believe men are logical when it comes to love. That if they are good to him, if they are kind, if they are loyal, he will naturally appreciate them. But men do not fall in love because a woman is nice. They do not crave love the way women do. What they crave is a feeling, a deep, intoxicating, undeniable feeling that makes them feel powerful, unstoppable, and more like a man than they ever have before. And that feeling does not come from what you say, it does not come from what you give, it comes from something far deeper. Your energy, your presence, your ability to pull a man into an experience he cannot get anywhere else. When a man is around a woman who carries this kind of presence, his entire state shifts. He feels different. He thinks differently. He sees himself differently. Have you ever noticed how some men, even the most powerful ones, will drop everything for certain women? It is not because those women are the most beautiful. It is not because they are the most successful. It is because those women give them a feeling they cannot ignore, a feeling that makes them crave more, a feeling that makes them addicted. And once a man has felt that, he will never be the same again. But here is where most women get it wrong. They believe they have to do more to make a man love them. They believe if they text him more, give him more attention, show him more love, he will appreciate them more. But a man does not fall in love with a woman because of what she gives. He falls in love because of how he feels when he is around her. And that feeling is not something you can fake. You can say all the right things, you can follow all the dating rules, but if your presence does not trigger something powerful inside of him, he will never truly attach. A man might be entertained by you, he might even enjoy your company, but if he does not feel something different when he is with you, he will never crave you. This is why you can see a man chasing one woman while completely ignoring another. It is not because one woman is better than the other. It is because one activates something inside of him that he cannot ignore. She makes him feel alive. She makes him feel challenged. She makes him feel like a man in a way no one else does. And that is something no man will ever walk away from. But most women lose themselves trying to get a man's attention. They become overly available. They become predictable. They think that if they just give more, he will finally see their worth. But the moment you try to convince a man of your value, you have already lost. Because a man does not fall for the woman who tries to prove herself. He falls for the woman who makes him feel something he cannot resist. Think about the kind of woman a man dreams about long after she is gone. The woman he regrets losing, the woman he cannot replace no matter how many others he meets. It is never the woman who is desperate for his approval. It is never the woman who waited by the phone hoping he would choose her. It is the woman who made him feel something so powerful that no other woman could take her place. Because here's the truth. Men do not chase perfection. They chase the feeling of being fully alive. They chase the woman who pulls them into a world that is different, exciting, and electric, a woman whose energy feeds his soul instead of drains it. And the moment he feels that, he will go to war just to keep it. If you want a man to be addicted to you, stop focusing on what you can do for him and start focusing on the energy you bring when you are around him. Do you inspire him? Do you make him feel like the man he always wanted to be? Or do you feel like just another person in his life? Because if a man does not feel something different when he is with you, he will never see you as someone he cannot live without. A man can have 100 women around him, but if none of them give him the feeling he craves, he will always be searching for something more. And the woman who understands this, she is the one he will chase forever. Because once a man has felt what it means to be truly alive in a woman's presence, he will never settle for anything less. So the real question is, how does a man feel when he is around you? Does he feel powerful? Does he feel inspired? Does he feel like he is stepping into the best version of himself? Because if you are not activating something in him that makes him crave more, then no matter how much effort you put in, he will never be fully yours. This is why some women never have to chase a man. This is why certain women can walk away and the man will always come back, because she left him with something no other woman ever did. She gave him a feeling he cannot shake, a feeling that wakes him up at night, a feeling that makes him wonder if he will ever find that again. And once a man has felt that, no other woman will ever compare. Men do not remember the details. They do not remember what you wore or what you said. They remember how they felt when they were with you. And the woman who gives him a feeling that makes his soul crave more will always be the woman he fights for. So the next time you wonder why a man is pulling away, ask yourself, what does he feel when he is around you? Because the difference between being his option and being his obsession is not about what you do. It is about what he feels in your presence. And the moment you master that, you will never have to chase a man again.